SLT Fibre and experience the power of fibre technology. Sri Lanka's only super fast internet connection. SLT Fibre. Call 1212 now.
Tonight, confirmed dead. Fugitive leader of the Islamic State terror group Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi killed in US military operation in Syria. Await national security. Prime Minister calls on the public to await new national security legislation.
We have also got a new set of legislation to be drafted. We are awaiting report of the Parliamentary Select Committee.
Of highest priorities, Gotabaya Rajapaksa says national security will be a way of life. The Sajid ultimatum. Sajid Premadasa warns underworld figures. Suspend criminal activities or face my fury. All these stories and much more coming your way on First at 9 this Sunday, the 27th of October 2019.
Fair and Lovely men ගෑවට පස්සේ මාක්ස් අඩු වෙලා ෆෙයානස් වැඩි වෙලා.
මාක්ස් අඩු කරලා ඔයාගේ ෆෙයානස් ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක වැඩි කරගන්න. Fair and Lovely men anti marks cream.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening to you and welcome to First at 9 on AdaDerana 24, Sri Lanka's news channel. I'm Katharina Chang. Now on to your top story tonight. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe revealed that a new set of legislations will be introduced on national security soon. Addressing an event held in Colombo yesterday, the Premier said that the new legislation will include recommendations made by the Parliamentary Select Committee probing the Easter Sunday attacks. The Legal Officers Association of the Attorney General's Department organised a fundraiser under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday to mark the 135th anniversary of the department. The fundraiser, named A Ray of Hope, was a musical extravaganza in aid of child victims of the Easter Sunday attacks. The diplomatic missions of India and China and Sri Lanka were some of the chief sponsors of the event.
Easter bomb explosion was traumatic for all of us. We were all of the view that we had put one era of terrorism behind us. But terrorism now has become a part of the norm. Our whole region is facing it, and it's quite different from what we faced earlier. I must first record here that we have apprehended everyone, and we have done so within the framework of the law. It's your duty to ensure that they are prosecuted. At the same time, we have also got a new set of legislation to be drafted. We are awaiting a report of the Parliamentary Select Committee and taking into account those recommendations too, and those will all end up on your desk when you will have to decide the constitutionality and what amendments have to be made.
Presidential hopeful of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna Gotabaya Rajapaksa reiterated that a government under his leadership will be able to ensure national security. The presidential contender was addressing an election campaign rally in Madrigiriya today. He later attended several other campaign rallies as well.
An election campaign rally of the SLPP presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa was held in PASSARA yesterday.
Our government will create an environment where every community can live on equal terms. Only we can ensure national security in the country. We will re-implement all those security plans we had during our previous tenure. We will once again use the services of the police, army and intelligence units in a productive manner to ensure the security of the nation. This government, however, chose to instead use these state services for political revenge. Major economic development was undertaken during our tenure. But when this government came into power, for the past 2.5 years, they halted all projects initiated by us. This resulted in the loss of about 400,000 jobs.
The presidential hopeful also attended an election campaign rally in MATALE.
අපි හැමතිස්සෙම අගය එකතු කරන්නට ඕන.
We should always aim to introduce value addition for our import products such as pepper. The government must intervene and conduct research to educate the public on ways to increase crops and new methods for processing of crops. Such methods are essential in importing better products to the global market, which in turn bring in more profits. We can quote better prices for our products if only we ensure proper transportation and storage.
Rajapaksa later attended another rally in Madirigiriya. The rally was also attended by many UNP and JVP provincial councillors supporting of the SLPP candidate.
After the LTT was defeated, KP made a statement to the international media from Malaysia, appearing as the leader of the terrorist organization. Using our intelligence services, we were able to bring him back to Sri Lanka within a very short period of time. But this government, which had all prior intelligence information regarding the Easter Sunday attacks, did nothing. That is, because a cabinet influenced by foreign forces and NGOs who are against the efforts of our war heroes cannot ensure national security in the country.
Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, issued an ultimatum to the criminal underworld to suspend all criminal activities or face severe consequences after the 16th. The presidential candidate made these remarks at a public rally held in Hanwalla yesterday.
Another campaign rally organized by the New Democratic Front was held yesterday under the auspices of its presidential candidate Minister Sajith Premadasa.
I pledge that presidential mansions will be converted into world-class technical colleges, where they will serve the youth of this country. I will revive this country even under the most dire circumstances.
He later appeared at another public rally in Hanwalla.
The government that will come into power under my leadership will be a clean one. It should be as clean as a white cloth. No thieves will be allowed in the new government, and we will certainly not appoint them to positions. I advise any underworld gangs and extortionists to disperse. If they don't stop their criminal operations, they will have to pay for their deeds after the 16th.
Meanwhile, presidential candidate Minister Sajith Premadasa also attended a rally organized in Homagama yesterday.
1 year ago exactly, I heard that I was being removed as the Prime Minister and Mahinda Rajapaksa was being appointed into the position. I wondered how. The ministers too were removed. He was adamant that he is the Premier. He could only drive up and down in the vehicle given to the PM and nothing else. He is the only Prime Minister who was removed by the Supreme Court. Some might think that the country will be governed by the same persons. We are not ready to embark upon a journey with the same people. We will ensure justice for the general public with a group that has no previous allegations to their names.
Meanwhile, presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Kumara Disanaik, is of the view that extremism cannot be defeated by voting for Sajith Premadasa, while he feels his political stages with extremists. The JVP leader made these comments addressing a rally in Eravur, Batiklo yesterday.
Presidential contender of the National People's Power Movement, Kumara Disanaik, attended a public rally held in Eravur, Batiklo last night.
The Easter terror attacks were not only an attack on the Catholic community, but also on the Muslim community too. We will not involve any racists or extremists in our political campaign. You cannot provide security to the country without defeating extremism first. The political stage of Sajith Premadasa is full of extremists. Extremists can only make a country unsafe. We will build a safe country, so I request you to vote for us. If you are voting for Sajith, you may as well vote for Gotabaya, as both are friends and there is hardly a difference between the two of them.
The Elections Commission has received a total of 1,835 election violation complaints between the period of October 8 to the October 26th. The Election Commission has decided to open complaint offices at the Elections Secretariat in Rajagiriya as well as in every district office to investigate these incidents. These complaint officers are to be established in collaboration with the police. Following investigations into these complaints received during the presidential elections this year, new laws are to be enacted to prevent common issues that routinely occur during the election period. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa says that he objects very strongly to the delay in providing customary festival advances to employees in the private and public tea sector as the country celebrates the Diwali holiday. Speaking at a rally, the opposition leader pledged to also look into issues faced by dairy farmers and the country's fishing community.
Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa participated in an SLPP rally organised in VALAICCHENAI yesterday.
අපි මේ රටේ කිරි නිෂ්පාදනය අධික වෙනකොට අපි ඒ කිරි වීදුවත් දුෂ්කර පාසල් වල දරුවන්ට
We initiated a program where every child receives a glass of milk in rural areas. Now we face a situation where a litre of water is more expensive than a litre of milk. The dairy farmer does not have a place in this country. The UNP has not even thought about this. We should give land to our farmers, which is one of the biggest issues our farmers face. One race is afraid of another. We cannot live like this. We must destroy this fear.
ජාතීන් අතර තියෙන බය නැති කරනවා කළ යුතුයි.
The opposition leader also appeared at another election rally organised in Trincomalee. Talking of issues faced by our fishermen, we pledge to provide concessions for fuel. On the 16th, make sure you cast your vote for the flower bud in my name. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa later visited the former Chief Minister of the Eastern Province, Sivanesathurai Chandrakanthan, who is currently incarcerated at the Batticaloa prison. He later expressed his views to media. A sad situation has taken place on our estates. Usually the labourers are given an advance at this time of the year, but this time they have not received it.
We will now go into a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more local news. On to business news. Former Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwat Kabra says that reforming the crib is necessary in order to encourage entrepreneurs by way of providing moratoriums for loans. Speaking at a forum last evening, the former governor also spoke on the need to implement a process in bringing investment in the country.
So you have to have a process of investments coming into the country, because that's what creates jobs. That's what gives people livelihood. We don't have it. At the moment, we have nothing. We don't know what's in store for us next year. We have had a gap of 4 to 5 years, which is now very difficult to fill. So we'll need to kickstart this economy. And to kickstart is more difficult than going in the normal steam, so that we can give results in difficulty. We will reform the crib. We'll bring up some restructuring systems so that people who have shown good results but who have had difficulties in repaying their loans as a result of the current downturn in the economy, that they are given protection, that they are given some leeway in order for them to also start doing business. So number one, what we'll do is we want to give a moratorium as far as the loans are concerned, not to not pay the loans. Please don't get me wrong. You got to pay your loan back. But wait, what we'll do is to give you an 18-month period, freeze your loan so that you have to only service your interest, and then the banks won't get in trouble. You will get some relief. Some capital will remain with you so that you can start doing your business. We will make sure that the interest rates come down, because with these current interest rates, people cannot do business.
China's largely rubber-stamped parliament has passed a new law on cryptography as the country gears up to launch its own digital currency. China's central bank set up a research team in 2014 to explore launching its own digital currency to cut the costs of circulating traditional paper money and boost policymakers' control of money supply. China's proposed new digital currency would bear some similarities to Facebook Inc.'s Libra coin and would be able to be used across major payment platforms such as WeChat and Alipay. China's cryptography law, which takes effect on 1st of January next year, is aimed at facilitating the development of cryptography business and ensuring the security of cyberspace and information. The law states that the state encourages and supports the research and application of science and technology in cryptography and ensures confidentiality. Market analysts expect positive market activity at the Colombo Bourse in the coming week due to increased buying interest in the overall market. During the past week, the All-Share Price Index and the S&P SL20 gained 1.22% and 1.03% respectively, while recording an average daily turnover of 796 million rupees. We have Achalan Srirangan from First Capital Holdings with market expectations.
The bond market has been stagnant with a low activity level. Amid rising in the market liquidity in the system, we expect gradual improvement in the buying interest in mid to long term maturities, which are trading at the attractive level. The stock market side, we expect some positivity to emerge with the buying interest in overall market, specifically focus on the mid-cap counters, and while selling pressure by the foreigners in the blue chip counters also likely to be absorbed with the investor interest.
And with that, we go into a short commercial break. Stay tuned. Archbishop of Colombo, Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit says that an education system combined religious values and a value for life is required today more than ever. The Cardinal made these comments addressing an event held at the Good Shepherd Convent in Kottahena recently.
I think it is something very important today to understand where in this world there is a growing tendency towards selfishness, to think that only one person exists on this earth and that's me. So therefore, to centralize my personality and not to open ourselves to the lives of so many others is an impoverishment. I would like to ask you, dear children, make use of all the people you come across to grow. Never think only about our race, our language, our religion, our caste. All these considerations are very divisive. In a society where we grow mixing up with as many people as possible, we become enriched. We in our schools must educate our children not to hate life, appreciate life, and try to grow into a web of relationships whereby we grow up as human beings. I think today more than at any other time, we need to make our education processes to realize that without that extra effort we have to put into education, which can be gained also through religious education, that if we don't do that, then just a technical knowledge and getting through exams will not be enough. We have to strive for excellence, and excellence is always in a fuller vision of life, where every single child is helped to develop his or her individual personality, and let those children relate to as many people as possible, enrich themselves and enrich society, and thereby become even more fulfilled. I think this kind of educational approach is very important.
Birthday boy David Warner smashed an unbeaten century in the first T20 international against Sri Lanka to lead his side to a mammoth 233 for 2. Partnered by Aaron Finch and Glenn Maxwell later, Warner powered through an effortless performance that saw the Sri Lankan team faced with a mountain to climb. In reply, the Lions managed only 99 runs for 9 wickets, as Adam Zampa took 3 scabs for 14 runs in his overs, giving Australia a 134-run win. And with that, we conclude this edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining us and have a very pleasant evening.